Well, hello there, you beautiful people, and welcome back to the channel. So we do have a ton of news and announcements, some of it good, some of it annoying, some of it underwhelming, and some of it flat out awesome. So let's first of all get to it. So obviously the latest Kabam stream gave us a wealth of information, and then they kind of recapped the current happenings. Obviously, last call for Captain Britain's double track and all that stuff. That's kind of like well known, so I'm not going to mention it all that much. But what you do need to remember is that this is Fantastic Four saga and it lasts 4 months, not 3. So next month we actually do not get the new saga. That will be a bit later on. Therefore, they do not speak about the new double track either as a consequence of that. But Rebirth, last call, we all know that. Remind about the new relics, and here's going to be the next Fantastic Four saga boost that we will see in Battlegrounds and, some side quests and stuff like that. So saga attackers gain the following bonuses. Mr. Fantastic's Resolve, knocking down the opponent inflicts a 15-second 20% potency debuff siphon. The debuff siphon makes opponent's dot effects less potent and your dot effects more potent. These max at 3 stacks, and when the max is hit, attackers special and heavy attacks gain 50% increased attack rating. So, who knows, maybe it will be useful at some point. Maybe Kabam will even allow us to parry in Battlegrounds. Right. So that put aside, we do have Fantastic Fall Fanfare. September 17th till October the 1st. 2-week event based around solo modes. Earn prize vouchers from special solo objectives and arena milestones. Trade them in for prizes containing crystal shards, profile pictures, and more. So that seems to be some sort of like saga finale, extra additional type of thing. We do have side quest Big Blue, which is kind of weird because it's lasting only 2 weeks. So 2-week side quest, very simple and straightforward. Earn keys through solo objectives and then use these keys to do a quest. Simple side quest, kind of like that. And there's also going to be some sort of mini EQ. Don't know what that's about, but that's going to be from September 24th till October the 8th. The 2-week side event in a mini EQ format. Miniature event quest inspired side quest. Again, fine. It's kind of weird because, next month's side quests effectively are going to be 2 different ones, 2-week-long ones. Then we have new side quest difficulties, which is a good and welcome change, if not for the fact that, again, Valiant title as such has kind of lost its all meaning because we do have... And I believe you need 7-star rank 3s to become Valiant. And then we have people who have just become Valiant, and then we have people with like 25 rank 4 7-stars. So it's, again, vast group of players. And the entire point of these progression titles is to kind of separate players per their needs and progress in the game. And they have been failing to do that with the delay in a new progression title. But, nonetheless... the idea is that side quest difficulties should kind of be geared towards higher progressions than they were before, basically. And it also should hopefully mean that the rewards are going to get improved, which is ultimately going to be a positive thing. So we still have the Summoners Fest November 8th to 9th. Obviously, we're going to have Battle Royale Brawl and all that stuff. So, new path to Paragon has been unlocked. So if you have 5 rank 2 7-stars, you don't even have to do 7.4 anymore. You will effectively just get Paragon. Apparently, there were a bunch of people who already got like Paragon for basically, logged in and became Paragon. So in the stream, I think aptly called this was a pity Paragon system, but fair enough. Then we have Sword and Stones event, which is obviously, we did not have enough sales recently. I think Kabam has been oddly quiet with their sales events this year in particular. So, starting September 4th, there will be cash and unit offers focused on Silver Samurai, Webstore milestone track, progression-based for the first time ever, also front-loaded milestones, so we'll see how that goes. Free 7-star thing in the solo event, and CCP promo codes, so... Thank you, Kabam. That's exactly what we were missing. More sales. Truly. 7-star Silver Samurai, obviously, in the milestones of that event. And here we have some of the Silver Samurai gameplay. He effectively seems pretty much specifically designed to destroy Yelena. And the entire idea here is that you eat up her combo meter your rotation is going to be level 2, level 1. And then now that you activate your special, ideally you apparently want to heavy into special. And then we can see we have the Downteds and the Overloads, and you also go unblockable. And then your level 1 finishes the job. So he should, in theory, be quite quick and potent. Still a killer. How well is he going to do other things? That remains to be seen. But yeah, there you go. There's like the power efficiency as well, so you can kind of spam your specials a wee bit better. And, you know, the burst damage then with the Downteds and the Overload seems quite nice. And as a defender, you do need to keep attention to the amount of Downteds that you have on, because that will give him the Reinforce passive that effectively prevents you from critting. And then on top of it all, he also can go unblockable during specials. Ultimately, he did not seem to be too big of a defensive threat. Maybe only if he turns out to be very tanky, right? So, pre-release bundles on September the 4th. Crystals and Rhino on September the 11th. His abilities would involve punishes high combo meters, grants combo to opponent, Daunted passives, Overload burst damage, unblockable special attacks, power efficiency passives, simple and effective kit. Well, I like simple, so I hope he's good. I generally do like simple. And then there was a bit of that gameplay, but we do have Mr. Knight. And I'll be 1,000,000% honest, Mr. Knight's gameplay left me very freaking worried about him. Because it does seem that you are dependent on punching opponents' heavy attacks, and that will involve block baiting opponents' heavy attacks in order to do it at any moderate speed, which naturally involves losing health. And yeah, no, like, he doesn't reduce the opponent's debuff potency by what we saw here. He does inflict tranquilizers, so he does reduce the chance for them to inflict debuffs. So that was like a utility that I kind of mentioned, but it might be abandoned now. But again, the champion whose playstyle kind of involves parrying and block baiting heavy attacks. I don't know. I mean, like, I hope he's good, but after seeing his gameplay, I am significantly less hopeful about Mr. Knight than before that. That's kind of how I'll put it. As a defensive threat, he can put a sleep on you. He fails too many debuffs on you, so you do need to kind of be careful on that, because if you do have 100 of those charges, then yeah, he can put you to sleep there. Effectively, pre-release bundles on September 16th, Arena on September 25th, Tranquilize focused skill champion, big fan of light attacks, light proficiency effect, injury and panic effects, sleep passives, different moon phases, gameplay is not tied to the moon, animations are, and big energy crit payoff. I hope he's good. I hope the same thing for every single champion. Just, I became immediately skeptical when I saw, for instance, Karate Mike testing him out against like Jessica Jones, and he, I think in total, lost like 12% of his health in block damage in a fight that, you know, animation-wise and so on and so forth, should be fairly easy type of fight. And not every champion has to be good for Battlegrounds, but ultimately that does significantly affect how popular and used those champions are, at the very least in, you know, the higher ends of the community. So we'll see what happens with Mr. Knight, but I genuinely have my worries there. So reminder of Grandmaster's Grace, kind of a cool graphic there. Oh, reminder that Omega Days champions are joining the base pool in like 11 days. So that's very, very cool. Titan Pool update, very much look forward to this, very excited about it. Then we have Rebalance batch number 2 in January. Toad is getting reworked now, and again, this is very baffling, because out of all the mutant champions or all the randomized champions that Kamakuni has selected, I would not think that Toad is the one in need of rebalancing. As in, like, what's the best way to put it? I'd want to get a 7-star Toad because I kind of like him. I have a 6-star Ascended Toad because he's always kind of had his uses. He's never, not at any point since his release, I have looked at Toad in a manner than I looked at Deathless Vision or Falcon Hurricane Taurus and so on and so forth. So it's a bizarre choice, I'm going to say like that, but this rework does effectively mean that Toad will be released as a 7-star. It does effectively mean that he's probably going to be better than he is. So I guess I'm fine with it. But it's just such a bizarre decision. Like, Toad has been always one of those champions that I'm kind of surprised that he's not out as a 7-star yet. And yeah, I do have a rank 6-star, and I actually still use him occasionally because he's like one of those mutant champions that's kind of true to their OG abilities. He gains prowess, he has access to regen passive, so he interacts with, you know, nodes that some newer mutants don't, and he's been quite useful. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but fine. Toad's getting a balance update in the batch number 2. So hopefully that's decently good. Additional thing that's kind of cool that I did not expect to see is we're getting a Rhino tune-up in the next update. Now, this came completely out of the blue, and I am loving it. So he's getting passive furies, and, you know, he's getting trauma, and he's getting taunt, and he's getting physical resistance, and he kind of looks decently cool. I don't know what else to say. The one kind of like worrisome bit here is I'm not entirely certain about his damage here initially looking at those numbers. But, you know, in between trauma and breach, which is kind of like a crush-like effect, you know, could be decent. But I think it's cool at the very least. I think it is quite cool. So there you go. We do have a Rhino buff. Love that. So 35% incoming bleed accuracy reduction. Kind of nice. Fury passives when dashing. Taunt, trauma, breach debuffs. Stun on special 1. Intimidate on special 2. And nothing on level 2, I guess. But still kind of cool. Still have Solvark, Idle Chase, Invade Essence. And next Essence, effectively, for the next Idle champion. We're going to start to collect that. And then we have Adaptive Difficulty Event Quest coming up. Now, this has obviously been major point of controversy, especially this is, again, one of those distasteful things where Kabam didn't even mention the changes and the impact on Alliance Quest. Like, Jan dropped it us on in the announcement. They have never once spoken about that in live streams, and they still didn't, which still kind of pisses me off. But, a lot. But launching on September the 3rd, we're going to have a Classic and Elder difficulty. And mirror closely to version 1 of Valiant EQ. It's going to be based on your top 30 prestige. They did speak about this in a bit more detail. So, adaptive difficulty event quest, complete one run through Classic to unlock Elder. Now, this was immediately received quite poorly because we all hated the whole, you know, complete Thronebreaker to do Paragauntlet type thing. And whenever they are, like, arbitrarily locking and gatekeeping content, I think it is bad. There's no other way to put it. So, not many people are huge fans of the fact that you have to first do the Classic difficulty in order to be able to get to the Elder difficulty. Then uncover Ethereum by completing quest. Ethereum effectively is going to be, you know, another type of currency. Not that we spend, it's just that we earn on a monthly basis to unlock rewards. Effectively going to be points in the event type thing. Run through the queue and earn as you go. The more you earn, the more milestone rewards you gain. The goal is streamline monthly quests. Completing the highest difficulty will grant all the... 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. And I am back. Now, completing the highest difficulty will grant you all rewards from the lower difficulties except the units that were there. Because the units are moved to the daily quest, which is another kind of like a massive gripe that I have here. So, we will get a bonus of 27,000 Mysterium and 150 units in this event, but the point is that majority of the lower difficulty units have been effectively moved to the daily quest. So this is how it's going to look like, the new adaptive difficulty thing, and here we can see the rewards, and again, no units really here, but we can kind of see the earned, well, the rewards that we'll be earning here, I suppose. And you can toggle them by your progression levels and prestiges kind of to see what else is there and available. And obviously the entire game is shifting to the whole 30 champion, 30 relic prestige. So, adaptive difficulty event quest. Again, launching September the 3rd. Didn't want to completely remove the classic EQ experience from MCOC. We also didn't want too high of a barrier from the new cool thing. We felt a fair middle ground was to require completion run of Classic. It's not a fair middle ground, really. Why would you do that? Why? Well, there's meant to be a challenging monthly quest for endgame players, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of complaints in regards to the difficulty of it. I, on a personal note, however, do look forward to that. Then again, Mysterium getting added to the event quest as well, so it's not going to be just the side quest currency now. But the daily quest rework is where the units are effectively moving to. So all daily quests are out, 2 repeating standard days, resources, and catalysts. Shifting supply runs Monday through Saturday, and then and then the super version of it on Sundays. And the daily quest rework highlights all units from lower EQs spread amongst daily quests. Potions / revives are going to be available every day. Monday and Thursday is going to be Alliance War boosts and 6-hour boost selectors. Tuesdays and Fridays, 7-star signature stones, which I like. That is awesome. So Wednesdays and Saturdays, 7-star shards. All right, decent. And Sunday, a little bit of everything. So here's the deal, though. Here are the rewards. This is very bad for quality of life players, though. There will be a lot of things that are obviously better because it's an update and that's a rewards update. And I like that a lot. Like 7-star signature stones and so on and so forth. I absolutely hate that you are expected to do that daily quest now, well, every day if you want to earn the units. And previously, the units that we could earn in lower EQ difficulties was like you just autoplay it as and when you have some time throughout the month. But forcing us to do a daily quest is kind of like undoing all of the changes that they have made to AQ and making it so that AQ happens all day, every day, with no break days. Right? Kabam went through like such a long period where we had like 8-day AQ cycles, and then we had to play 5 days in a row, and we had like no say in when AQ's on and off and stuff like that. And then they kind of changed it, right? Reduced the amount of days we had to play, and then gave us a freedom of selecting which days and spread it on like a 7-day cycle. And then the raids came, which we could do effectively by logging in like twice in a 7-day period to kind of clear our fights. And that was awesome. That is pro player quality of life change. This is complete opposite of that. This is taking something that we effectively could do at any point throughout the month, whenever we kind of remembered or had time to, and moving and changing it into something that we have to do every day unless we want to miss out on units. So I cannot explain how shitty of a move that is. Even if the rest of the update is good, that change in particular is just sneaky and nasty and underhanded and goes complete opposite to what players want. Players don't want to feel forced to play a quest every day. That's absolutely not true. But here you go. So these are effectively the rewards that we can take a look there. There apparently have been a few more catalysts added. So in the Monday and Thursday one, there's the 15 units, 1 revive, 2 potions, and some of the boosts. So that's nice. Then in the Tuesday and Friday one, again, so the units, the revives, some I think that's AQ stuff, and 2 7-star signature stones. Which again, kind of nice. So it's like 4 6 stones a week. It's something. Wednesdays and Saturdays, 1,000 7-star shards. Fine. And Sunday, basically, there's like 70 units, tier 3 alphas. So you absolutely want to be playing this every day. Like, God forbid, you're going to have a ton of things to do on a Sunday. You're going to miss out on that. Which kind of sucks. And available daily. The Iceman Gold one, that's fine. And Catalyst Harvest also available daily, I believe. Some tier 6 basics, tier 3 alphas, tier 6 CCs. Fine. Okay. So that's the daily quests. We're gonna talk about them a bit later. We're also gonna have Spider-Man's Amazing Realm Tour Alliance Super Season. So Alliance Super Season will largely start in October, but it will involve Alliance or Battlegrounds, AQ raids, and incursions. So you do want to be in an active alliance effectively by the October time. There's gonna be a Realm event, and yeah, you do not really want to miss out on the rewards there. And we also have the animations of the God Emperor Doom. And a bit of his abilities where effectively we're going to have to learn how to hit him during his special attacks. There are like, each special attack has like 2 windows where we have to hit him. But he does look cool. Let's just appreciate that. He does look very, very, very cool. So there we go. That's God Emperor Doom. And yeah, that's also a very, very cool picture. But here's how you fight him. Basically, you need to hit him during his specials in order to be able to eventually do damage to him. Otherwise, he takes 99% less damage from all sources. When it comes to the final bosses and bosses in general, I give Kabam quite a lot of leeway, so I don't mind that at all. I think it's fairly, we'll see. I look forward to fighting him. Typically, they do design quite nice bosses, though. Then Act 9.3 rewards. Again, this does seem like a step back because I don't see any 2-3 gems, and there's like 1 rank 4 in the rewards. 9.2 had 1 rank 4. So this kind of does scream a step back. I will compare these rewards with the 9.2 more properly in a separate video. But I don't know. I kind of thought more like 3 tier 7 basics. Like 1 rank 4 is not that big of a reward right now for a latest piece of story content or like an endgame piece of content. There's no 2-3 gems. There's nothing like no particularly special crystals and stuff. So I really don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe I'm being just a bit too critical again, but the fact that 9.2 had 1 rank 4 in it, and 9.3 has 1 rank 4 in it, and there's no rank 3 gems, and we do have some of the lower catalysts there, but I'm just not all that impressed, to be honest. But kind of, yeah. Okay. Summoner's Choice Rework vote winner is the Ghost Rider. Kind of saw that coming. I voted for Loki, again, for the reason that we have never had a good Loki in a game, but we have often had good Ghost Riders. OG Ghost Rider was good when he was released. We had CGR time. Now Kushala is a very popular champion. All of those are Ghost Rider champions that have been, meta relevant at one point or another, or meta dominant. And Loki has never had anything there. There's also a narrative roadmap tease, but I'm not even going to mention that entire segment. And then just kind of like the Dev Diary updates. Coming in October, more details on the magic in the Radiant Store. And Radiant Store is getting updated in October, as well as is the Glory Store. Glory Store update is also coming in October, so might be worth saving your Radiance. Additionally, Kabam Dave, Dorky Digdy Dave, not going to be the host of these streams no longer. He's going to be doing different things in Kabam. And he's giving everybody a 7-star Iceman. Now, these codes can only be redeemed on like 4th of September. But do take a screenshot of these codes, because you're going to get a free 7-star Iceman if you're Valiant, and then lower ones if you're not Valiant yet. There you go. That's about it. So I hope you guys found this video useful, and I'm going to catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the next